Okay, great. Okay, so if you're joining us, I assume that you know Connie Grouds, that you've heard her speak at FMBR and are here to learn about the trip we have coming up in October to the Amazon. Connie is a pharmacist and a shaman who apprenticed for 26 years in the rainforest and the jungles of the Amazon, and learned a lot of good stuff that she teaches. And she had this idea to bring some people from FMBR down and let us experience the majesty of the rainforest. And so we are going to let Connie tell us about the trip and what's involved and what we might see, hear, and do. And Connie, welcome. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so very much, Judy. I've known everyone at FMBR for a couple decades, Judy, Bill, and Jerry, and hi to new friends and old friends, and we're so glad you're here. Are you ready to talk about the trip of a lifetime? All right. October 14 through 22, that's posted on the FMBR website. So you don't need to take notes about that. What we're going to do today is just as what Judy said. We're just going to talk about what the experience is going to entail. This is a picture of the mighty Amazon River that I took from the airplane, from the window of the airplane 29 years ago on my first trip down there, the largest river system in the world. We are going to Iquitos, Peru, a jungle border town. Gateway to the Amazon, Iquitos. Look at the wonderful color and activity. And as you can see, it is the edge, the gateway of the Amazon. Wow, when you stand at the bridge right there, you look out and my goodness, the Amazon rainforest is as big as the contiguous United States. When you stand right there, the Amazon is indeed that big. Lots of big energy. Look at that wonderful, charming Iquitos lady balancing melon on her head and all the good ripe fruits that we have there. After as we gather in the town of Iquitos and sleep overnight in Iquitos, and the next morning we get on the boat and go up the river. Here we go. We go up the river to experience the greatest expression of life on earth. We will be passing the ribereños people, the river people, that just live along the side of the river. Obviously, living in the Amazon is like living in Venice. Everything has to do with the water. So this man is catching fish for his family. No doubt his wife is down the river a bit doing the laundry, and chances are the kids are taking their morning bath. We just let go of our Western mind as we experience the living by the wonderful rhythm of nature. These ribereños, and so do we. We get up when the sun rises and we go to bed when the sun sets. As I always say, you can leave your watch. just leave your watch behind because it is powerful. It is timeless. On the way to our Jungle Eco Lodge, we stop at a nonprofit, an NGO there, a monkey rehab center. You can see Judy there, cute little monkeys. This wonderful work by this NGO. They rehab monkeys that are injured, so on and so forth. And those monkeys are kept in cages and rehabbed by qualified people. And then once they're rehabbed, they can go back to the jungle. But the point of the matter is they get so used to all the loving care and of course the food. But the point is they love to hang around. So, they'll come up and be your friend. And it's a wonderful experience to have the monkeys so friendly to us because, of course, deep in the jungle, monkey soup is a delicacy with the local indigenous villagers. So the monkeys are usually running away from the humans. This gives us a chance to just really have monkey spirit, monkey energy, just right up front on our way to our wonderful Heliconia Resort Eco Lodge. As you can see, we're in the middle of the jungle, but it's modern. It's modern, right? It's got a pool. Wow. Yeah. How do we rate? Look at the rooms. Very much like a hotel room in Iquitos, huh? Wonderful beds, fans, electricity certain times of the day for your ease and comfort. And as you can see there, each room has a little hammock room attached to it. You see in the background there, you have your own little hammock porch that you can hang out there and just sleep, feel the breeze, talk to your neighbors, and soak it all up. And in our lunchroom facilities there, notice the point of the matter is our star here, Pedro. Pedro the macaw, I think he's been there 16 or 17 years. Pedrito is his local name to everybody, little Pedro, Pedrito. And he loves to just come and sit by your chair and eat some bananas and say hi, and very friendly. I'm told by the staff there that he flew in with a flock of other macaws 16, 17 years ago and said, hey, the food is good here. Why should I go anywhere? So, he's just there. He'll probably greet you as you walk up the stairs, for your very first visit to Heliconia Lodge. He'll be there to greet you and pester you for bananas at lunchtime. No, Pedro. This is a picture of a heliconia, somebody asked the last time I gave a presentation. You've seen these in Hawaii, these wonderful tropical plants. It kind of gives you the idea of the lushness and the color and the vibrancy, of course. The first day we're at the lodge, we start our rituals. This is a healing, welcoming limpia. Limpiar in Spanish means to cleanse. This is a wonderful ritual done by locals for us, on us, removing all of the energy of the airplane and the Western life and invoking through prayers said by the local there, welcoming us to the Amazon, the energies of the Amazon, each one individually. Yep, our welcoming gift. The next morning, first thing, what we do is we are each given our own small little tree that you are individually going to plant in a special garden. That means you have your own tree growing for hundreds of years in the garden. And the point is, this is part of a ritual. The night before, what you do is take your piece of paper and write down all the things that you're asking the spirit of the Amazon for yourself, for others, friends, family, Mother Earth itself. Fold it up and bury it in the roots while you're planting your very own tree. So those prayers, those wishes, those hopes, those desires, whatever it is for your life, are soaking up the energy of the greatest expression of life on earth, your own private tree growing in the Amazon. That starts our first day in our first jungle walk. And we will have many jungle walks. We'll talk about those in a moment, but we also have many river expeditions. Yep. We each have our own private boat with our own private guide. And here we go, the mighty Amazon River, to see the flora and the fauna that happens along the river's edge. And some of the excitement that happens in the Amazon is very special. The pink dolphins, they are freshwater dolphins. The pink dolphins, squeal and come up and they're very curious as our boats go by. The point is, interestingly, pink dolphins have no color. They have translucent skin, but what makes them pink is their blood vessels are very close to the surface. So when they get excited and see the boats and are eating their fish, they turn pinker and pinker and pinker for you. The interesting thing about dolphins in the Amazon River Basin is they are considered holy sacred animals. Nobody catches them, nobody eats them, everyone prays to them, with them, and for them. The wonderful pink river dolphins that you won't see anywhere else but the Amazon. In some of our hikes in the jungle path, this was taken my very first trip there. It was a pharmacy continuing education trip, actually, that took me to the Amazon the first time. Thought I would never go back. That was 29 years ago. But anyway, as we're out walking along the jungle path, this mother sloth looked kind of alarmed, and lo and behold, she lost her little baby sloth, fell out of the tree. Now, mama comes down to poop only once a week, so we had to take care of the little baby there. You can tell how sweet and just how innocent it is, but that up close and personal nature that we have, and with our native guides that are helping us be appropriate and interface with the plants and the animals. One of the most amazing things about the Amazon that amazes me to this day are flocks of birds, not just one macaw in a bird cage. I mean, most of us know that, in a zoo somewhere. Okay. But you look overhead and there are, 20, 50 macaws. The parakeets in the morning go out to eat. They leave their nest and go out to eat, and you can hear them chirping while you're eating your breakfast. Yeah. And some of the other things we see when we're on our riverboat are the ginormous, very famous Amazonian water lilies that grow somewhat 6 feet wide there. Look at that. Sometimes the local women use them as bassinets and the kids play on them. Pretty amazing, huh? When I talk about big energy that you are going to be absorbing, flocks of birds, ginormous plants, all of this energy, you are being bathed with it every moment, every second that you're there. Somewhere during the week, we will visit the Agua Indian tribe. The Agua Indians are a hunter tribe. You can see him put the poison dart into the dart gun, and his wonderful flamboyant garb made out of palm fronds. And it's very interesting, that Big Pharma is always interested in how we could potentially get medicinal plants from the rainforest. We have done that for centuries. And we also, ethnopharmacologists, visit hunter tribes, such as these Yaguas. Why? They want to know about the medicine that's on the end of the poison that's on the end of their dart. Because interestingly, that poison, of course, when it's injected into the bird or the mammal's bloodstream, it stops the heart and stops the breathing. What Western medicine did is took that substance called curare back up to the United States. Curare is about the size of a silver dollar, kind of a heart-shaped green leaf. We took it up to the United States, did some testing, and lo and behold, we figured out that if we used a very minute amount, gave it to people prior to surgery, that the patients would need less anesthesia, so it was less toxic. The curare wasn't killing the patient before surgery, but simply relaxing the heart, relaxing the body. And it's very interesting too that these Yagua Indian tribe, here's the men and the women of the Indian tribe here, yeah, in their palm frond costumes and so forth. It's very interesting. You see the man over there with his skirt, bare chested with a skirt. The women have palm frond over their breasts, but you see one man there in the front row that just has a skirt only. That is believed how the name Amazon came to be. Let me explain. When explorers came from Europe, from Asia, so forth, came over to this part of the world from their boats from afar, they saw these men in grass skirts and they thought they were women because they had a skirt on. So they evoked the Amazonian warrior woman myth, which says that the Amazonian warrior women of mythology, there was a mythological tribe, purposely removed their breast so they could pull back the bow and arrow and be better hunters. So when explorers came and saw these men from afar, they thought they were women. So they named the Amazon River Amazon, and the Amazon jungle, the Amazon River Basin jungles, rainforest. It's amazing, huh? How all this kind of happens, and you see it here. Of the Agua women that we just saw there, the women do incredible arts and crafts. Nonprofit efforts that I've been involved with over a couple of decades here support these women in making the crafts. We bring special teachers, making their crafts a little bit more sellable to the modern eye, to the modern buyer without losing its ethnicity. And definitely when we go in October, we are having our special artist teacher woman be there with the Agua Indian tribe, working with the women. She did it last year, and now she's coming back to do a kind of refresher course. And we have the opportunity to sit with these Agua women there in the village and learn how to make some of these palm frond, as you can tell, palm, a lot are palm-based products here. You have a chance to do that with these women and with the special artist teacher that's going to be there only this October trip. This is a special nonprofit effort here that we're doing in October. One of the hikes in the jungle we do is the medicinal plant trail, Camino de las Plantas Medicinales. Okay, medicinal plant trail. Oh my goodness, Big Pharma has always come to the jungles. They've always come through Iquitos and into the jungles. These were the professors of my first pharmacy continuing ed trip 29 years ago now. And, you know, one is from Harvard, the other one is a USDA botanist. The whole point of this is they certainly helped me understand that 25% of all drugs dispensed today in the pharmacy, when you look in a pharmacy, okay, still come from plant sources. Still, we need these ideas. We need to be interacting with cultures, not only in the Amazon, but certainly if the Amazon is the greatest expression of life on Earth, of course, Big Pharma would be going there to learn about potential new drugs for HIV, for cancer, for these, you know, intractable conditions that we all have. The ginormous trees, and there's a person there at the foot of this kapok tree, 20 stories tall. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, big energy in the Amazon. Big energy. If you see the line there, the brown, and then it's a little bit beige towards the top, that is where the river, the Amazon River, rises and lowers 40 to 60 feet every year. It comes up, and that's where you see the water line there, and then it goes back down. So these humongous, incredible forces are around us and bathing us, bathing our intentions. Bring your intentions. As I said, when you plant your trees, every day that you're there, every ritual that we do, because there's no other place, I can assure you, that has this kind of energy by just simply being there. We also, of course, visit the villages. Oh my goodness, and the schools. We go into the schools. We go into the villagers' homes. We see how they live on these stilted homes by the river. This one cute little girl, I took this picture 29 years ago. She has a pet sloth there, as you can see. And when I first looked at her in the village, it was in the front, and I thought she had a backpack on the front, on her chest. And then the backpack started to move, and I realized, oh, so you see that the kids, make pets with the birds, with the monkeys, with the sloths, and so forth. We talked to the school teachers and learned about that, and we're very welcomed into the village homes to see how life is there. You can see that all the houses are built on stilts because the Amazon River rises and lowers 40 feet every year. So they're prepared for all of that. So we have a chance to be up close and personal with community as well. The last evening we're there before we go back to the US, we have a copal gratitude ceremony. Copal is an incense, more about that when you get to the Amazon. But we have this copal fire ceremony where we each have a chance, after having been there for a week, to step forward and say what we're grateful for. I just have to say, I have to take a moment. I just got back in end of March with a group of 30 people. Half of them were pharmacy students. Their professor has brought that group of pharmacy students 4 years now. This is their 4th year. The other half were adult nurses who belong to the American Holistic Nurses Association. They get 30 continuing ed credits. The point being, when they stepped up to the gratitude circle, oh my goodness. So the pharmacy students were first. The first 3 pharmacy students, I mean, these young people were from Ohio, had never been out of Ohio, and they're in the mighty Amazon. And the first 3 that stepped forward one at a time, they stepped to the fire and all they could do was cry. They were awesome. They were so overwhelmed. They didn't even have yet words to put around the impression that the energies of the Amazon and the up close with the indigenous people and all the rituals that we had as well. Then they did their personal thank yous, of course. And of course, the holistic nurses, each one by one, said their gratitude. And one nurse just said it all. She said, I'm an adult nurse, holistic nurse. Many of us have been missionaries. Many of us have been to the Peace Corps. I myself have traveled all over the world. And so she was thinking to herself, ho hum, what has the Amazon got to show me? She bowed to the fire and said, I am truly awed. It's indescribable. It's an experience. This is an experiential, you get by the experience there. Certainly, whatever comes up is certainly heartfelt as we close our week of having been there in the Amazon. As I said, greatest expression of life on earth. When you look from the plane, the Amazon River is just snake-like, just exotic. It's the largest river system in the world. It contains 20% of the world's fresh water. Wow. We better care what happens to the Amazon River, right? Look at this next fact. Provides 20% of the world's oxygen. Wow, I remember one professor from the University of Minnesota Center for Spirituality and Healing that came with me. She said, as we were walking quietly down the jungle path, she said, Connie, I feel like I'm being breathed. There's so much oxygen. There was a wonderful gentleman with a year ago and never been to the Amazon. And he said 2 days later, he said, my neuropathy's gone and I can see better. My glass, I can see better. And I said, I don't know, but I'm guessing you're being oxygenated, as are we all. The Amazon, the mighty Amazon itself, if it were a country, would be the largest country in the world. We do care and pray what happens to the Amazon, the largest country in the world. We want to make sure that we have our fresh water and our oxygen, if nothing else, let alone the beauty and the experience of the animals and the plants and the people. The Amazon is often called a river in the sky because it releases 20 billion tons of water daily. It evaporates in the heat. 20 billion tons daily. And then it's called a river in the sky because it comes over the rest of the world. And we get our rain from the Amazon. All of us do. We get it from this river in the sky. It evaporates in the heat of the day. You know, it's rain. It's the rainforest. It rains 240 days a year. That's why they call it the rainforest. But it evaporates and it becomes the river in the sky. The mouth of the mighty Amazon, where it joins the ocean, is 200 miles wide. I read from a scientist that said, wow, if we could harness the power of the water, that 200-mile wide, flowing from the river into the ocean, if we could harness it, it would keep New York City in electricity for 9 days, for every day that the water goes over. If we could harness it, you know, put some fans or something under the water, if we could harness that energy. There's enough energy to keep New York City in electricity for 9 days every day. So the potential here, you know, of the Amazon, not only for the health of all of us, but for our personal experiences, for those that are there in that experience is you know, something that is certainly of great spirit, of great heart. Well, you got to come. You got to come. There's no way anybody can explain to you what that feels like. This was a little bit of what the Amazon trip itself was going to be like. For those that pay the deposit, for those people that are coming on the trip, in other words, we will definitely have another private session for those people coming on the trip, how to pack, how to prep, you know, and handouts for you, how to think and get ready, so on and so forth. But I did want to say this one thing here on this slide here. Make sure you have your passport and it's up to date now. Look now. I've been told by people who've been traveling more so now that we're post-COVID, and they've said it's hard, it takes longer to get new passports, you know, in the US. Everybody's busy, you know, understaffed, so on and so forth. So if your passport is expired, start now. The other thing is you're opening your passport and taking a look at it, you know, tonight after we get off a line there. Make sure that it at least has 6 months of dates before its expiration. You will not be let on the plane in the United States unless your passport at least has 6 months. They won't let you come to Peru unless you've got 6 months left on your passport. Like I said, I don't normally talk about how to pack and how to prep here, but the reason I put this slide in is because I'm told that the passport agencies are really behind. So take a look at it now. Apply for a passport so you don't get delayed. So basically, and this is online, this is just kind of an overview. This is an overview, gives you some thoughts. We're always here to answer, you know, more questions from you anytime, and certainly when we have our special Zoom seminar for packing and prepping for those that are coming. But basically what it is it's one long week. In other words, you leave on a Saturday, it takes you till Sunday to get to Iquitos, your connections and the flights and so forth. Then 5 days, Monday through Friday, you're at the lodge with all the expeditions on the river, 1 or 2 at least a day. Same with walking in the jungle, 1 or 2 a day. And then we go back to Iquitos, refresh up at the hotel. You leave Saturday in order to arrive home Sunday. It just takes that time to do that. So it's only 1 week off work is what I'm saying. So it's 5 days in the jungle plus the weekends are travel. Saturday and Sunday coming, and then you leave on a Saturday and a Sunday coming as well, just to give you an idea. More details, of course, later, but I just wanted to give you the idea for those that are thinking of, we talked about resources, be they money or time off work or whatever. So begin to think about how that works for you. And FMBR will be collecting a deposit. Judy will be handling all of this, of course, but just something to think about here. A deposit of $780 is due by August 10th. So there's plenty of time to take a look at your work calendar, to look at your resources. And like I said, the how to pack and prep Zoom chat will have for those that do pay the deposit so that you're fully informed and comfortable when you're in the Amazon. So my goodness, here was the sunset in the wonderful, beautiful Amazon. Isn't that good? Yeah, it's just so peaceful. It's so incredible. I wanted to go back to this macaw. Aren't they incredible? Yeah, excuse me, toucan. Yeah, the funny thing about the toucans is when they walk, they hop sideways. Anyway, you'll see them when you're there. You know, nature's creatures. You can't imagine, who up there in the heavens are wonderfully painting these toucans and these macaws that we see just for our pleasure, huh? It's an amazing thing. I wanted to give you a little bit of an overview so that you could get excited and come up with your questions that you have. And Judy, I don't know if we have the capacity, if you can take some questions from chat or
people can post questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand and I can unmute you if you want to speak. Mm-hmm. And I have a question for you.
Yep.
So one of the things that we were talking about is COVID is no longer an issue, right? Vaccination Correct. Status is no longer an issue. And any other shots needed?
That will be covered for those people that are coming on the trip. You'll be given, we'll talk all about that and, okay. and how to prepare to keep yourself healthy and so on and so forth in your choice. But the point is, this particular talk is about what the experience is.
Okay.
But just to give you a little bit to answer your question, and then we'll get into details for those that are actually coming. If you're from the United States, currently no shots are required to get back in the US. That's what shots are for. Okay, to get back in the US. Okay. Should that change? It's never changed in 29 years. So chances are it's not. But so in other words, it's your choice to do that. But when we have our information session, we'll be talking about the intensity of some of the medical conditions that could happen there. It's a jungle. You're in the middle of the wilds of the Amazon jungle. So we'll weigh the pros and the cons with you so that you have a chance to figure out what's appropriate for yourself. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I can attest that the food is excellent at the lodge, and the pool is really wonderful.
The pool.
Spent a fair amount of time in the pool.
Yep. In between our expeditions, there's plenty of pool time there. Food is buffet, so those with food choices, no one has ever said that there's not enough food choices for every kind of eating habit whatsoever. So thank you for bringing that up.
And what's wonderful is, it's fresh. It is super fresh in case it's, sometimes picked that day.
Well, it certainly is, right. And of course, one thing I love about eating in the Amazon, I have sometimes lived there for years at a time, by the way. But the very fact that obviously if it's coming from the Amazon, there's no GMO or any, in other words, it couldn't be more organic and fresh. Yeah.
And locally sourced.
Exactly, my dear.
Okay, well, I am not seeing any questions. So if you have a question, raise your hand or forever hold your peace, as they say.
And you can contact us.
You can contact me. You can contact Connie directly if you want to. Connie Grouds at AOL.com.
Yep, absolutely.
And all of this information is on our website, fmbr.org.
Mm-hmm.
So check that out. And yeah, I'm happy to speak to anyone. Nicole, I am going to go ahead and unmute yourself, Nicole.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. No, I just had a question on how many I know this is going to be happening this year, but is this an ongoing, there'll be more planned in the future, or is this a kind of a, or how many are planned for the year? I guess this is my question.
This is FMBR's first joining up with me. I've taken groups, university groups and professional groups for the past 29 years. But now we've joined up with FMBR, and this is the first one that we're offering. So
we've never done it before.
Exactly. So let's do it. And
the inaugural trip.
Yep.
Thank you for all the great information and all.
Okay. Thanks, Nicole. And happy birthday, Nicole.
Thank you so much.
All right. So
sounds exciting.
Yeah. Okay. Did I? Okay. So I think that's it. Let me just double check on YouTube to see if there are any questions in the chat, and I don't see any. So if you have questions, contact us, go to fmbr.org, and we hope you can join us. It's a lot of fun. It's a bucket list thing for sure. Trip of a lifetime.
It's a bucket list. And I take it, Judy, that they can invite non-FMBR to come.
Of course.
Okay. So
yeah, actually I would say I have a couple of friends that I'm gonna ask if they want to come along.
Exactly.
I think they would really enjoy it.
And since you're recording this, Judy, and it's going to be online, right? So
yes.
your friends, when you invite them, can take a look at.
Yeah, I'll send the YouTube link out.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Connie. Looking forward to it.
So much. Yes, indeed.
Bye-bye.